So Arize calls me up, prior to the Northern Virginia First the Nation High School Showcase. We're talking a little bit about it and some of the things he's going to do for it. So I told him, I said, if you could hit a backwards free throw, then we'll come out and cover the tournament.
A lot of times, cats will come up to me and be like, hey, dawg, what's all this young and unashamed stuff? Like, can't we just wait till we older, sir?
But what I didn't tell him was, we was going to cover it anyway.
People know this. Curtis Simons actually still plays basketball too, and I actually give him buckets all the time as well. So, the event obviously is at the beautiful facility of Hoop Magic. When is this Saturday, January 10th, and how much depends on when you want to get a ticket. If you want to get an advance ticket, it'd be $10 for adults, $6 for students, and free for elderly and kids under 8. And as a reverse, if you want to pay at the door, it'd be $15 for adults and $8 for students. So you definitely want to get your tickets early. Any of the local high school coaches playing in the events will have tickets. I'll have tickets, so if you ever see me at a basketball game or anything like that, I'll have tickets on me as well as any of the high school coaches. We're doing like ticket giveaways. We have special performances, things like that. So we make it more for the casual fan. So you can come bring your family through, your grandma through, and just check out some good basketball. I think anytime you have a basketball event, you want to kind of find something to keep the casual fan interested, or keep the little kid who doesn't really care who the top sophomore is in the area, or the top freshman or junior, or top high school team who just wants to see a good event. Try to keep them involved and keep them their attention focused on the event rather than other things. So also with that, you have a chance to outline some of the unbelievable talent we have in this area, not only in basketball but outside of basketball. If people don't know, this is a very music enriched area. We have a lot of acoustic type performers or artists, and we have a lot of soulful people in this town. And honestly, the beauty about this event is that they're all matchups I wanted to see. When I first decided I wanted to do a high school event, I sat down and I was thinking, like, how could I kind of do it in terms of the angle, to give it some type of, extra oomph to be able to compete with those teams. It was pretty much because you want to create matchups where you don't know what the outcome is going to be. No team in this event can really say, is an overline favorite. You might have favorites by a point or two, but there is no 20-point favorite or 10-point favorite in any of these games. I wouldn't be surprised if all these games were under 10 points. And that's the beauty of doing a high school event. You get to, match up personalities, opponents and teams based on you as a fan. Because I'm actually a basketball fan as well. I go to many games throughout the year, and I actually just like to sit there and enjoy the event. So, me myself being a basketball fan is always something I want to do, and be able to put together teams and match up teams. Some of the things that here at Hoop Magic that we're doing, obviously we had a big year at the with our AAU tournaments and everything like that. Now our main focus is more so on improving, getting better. We're doing a lot of different things. We have a lot more media involved, a lot more out-of-town teams. Last year we mainly focused on our region, which is from the Mid-Atlantic region, from as far north as New York to as far south as North Carolina. Now we're trying to get involved with teams from Massachusetts, teams from Florida, teams from Georgia, teams from all over North Dakota, wherever you could have, New Zealand, wherever. So it's all about getting better and constantly trying to improve our brand. In my job, it's not so much in office, so I'm here 2-3 days out of the week, Tuesdays and Thursdays mainly. But it's a live environment here. You got to remember, there's so many basketball leagues going on outside of high school where there's practices. You might have a high school practice. You might walk in here one day and Bishop Ireton's practicing on one court, and Paul the Six Girls JV is practicing on another court. Then Westfield Boys High School on another court. Then Chantilly Boys JV, and they're all over the place. So it's a nice little spot. On top of that, you have the computers, computer lab here where they can come in here, go on Facebook or do their homework actually, and do all types of different things like that. And obviously for the basketball players, coming in shooting on the shooting machine or lifting weights, or just coming here hanging out and just seeing how we're doing is pretty cool. That's what I live by. And for those of you who can't read it, it says "built for this." It takes a strong individual to be able to handle all the other side of basketball. Really, if you have confidence in self and confidence in what you can do as a person and as a specialist in this whole basketball thing, then everything else doesn't matter. It's almost like in a basketball game. If Michael Jordan, missed a shot for everybody in the crowd that booed him, or everybody in the crowd that said he's overrated or he's a bust, I mean, he wouldn't be Michael Jordan. So, I mean, I think naysayers are naysayers. You'll always have those. And a wise man once told me, and it's actually my man Bakari Smith, plays at UMBC right now. He told me that if they're not hating, you're doing something wrong. So, I guess I'm doing something right. I think one of the biggest things between growing up watching basketball and actually being a part of basketball is the actual business side of it. Realizing it's a business. Some of the things that people don't take into account sometimes is that it's almost like one of my good friends told me, when you're at a party, running a party and attending a party are two totally different experiences. Because when you're attending a party or when you're playing basketball, when you're a player or a casual fan, you don't realize just how much chaos is going behind you. It's almost like an organized confusion. You don't understand that anybody who talks to you has an underlying agenda. You don't realize that anything you say really can and usually will be used against you later on. There's just so many things that go in basketball. Being a guy who runs events from a guy that attended events and played events. Like I said before, I'm 24 years old, so obviously I'm still learning the nuances of the business. But the way I look at it is like with the things, my God-given intelligence, my God-given abilities is already put me 2 rungs above a lot of people. As seen in my performance. Any person can put on an AAU event. Any person can put on a high school event. It takes a special somebody. It's like any person is not going to be taking #1 in the NBA draft. Any person is not going to be a lottery pick. It takes a special somebody. But even with that said, that special somebody still has work to do. I remember Kevin Durant got drafted, and a quote he said was, "Hard work prevails over talent when talent fails to work hard." And that's one of the things I've actually taken with me. As I entered my basketball, in journeys, in my basketball endeavors, is that it's one thing getting there, and one thing, okay, Arize is successful, he's here, he does good tournaments, but it's about taking that and running with it, taking that, for example, Dwight Howard, okay, he got drafted to the NBA #1, but he still has to work on his hook shot, work on his post moves, working on, staying on his feet. You still have to get better, because if not, you got the next guy right behind you, gunning for your spot, and the guys above you fighting you off, and you'll never make any progress. So, at the end of the day, progress is a slow process, but, for those of us who are, God gave the ability to, do this basketball thing, you got to keep working hard and remain humble. The clothing line is a brand called Still Truly Fresh. It was a collaboration of a couple guys who went to school with me, Florida A&M. Shout out to anybody from Florida A&M. They're watching this. It was a clothing line. Pretty much they started down there, and they really wanted to capture the essence of, the times. We got a little bit of 80s throwback to the clothing, got a little bit of new age Kanye / Pharrell / obviously it's not something that I wear too much, but it's something that I think a lot of these young guys would look good in. So, I got a lot of young guys involved. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually have a team Still Truly Fresh. Shout out to a lot of different guys who I've asked to, be one of my Still Truly Fresh members. So, looking forward for that, and we look forward to the Still Truly Fresh release party coming early 2009. I like to call myself the LeBron James of basketball. A lot of the players call me that too sometimes. And I want to explain that a little bit. It doesn't come from me thinking that I'm LeBron James. It comes from a lot of similarities in our situations. LeBron is in the NBA, and I consider myself in the NBA as well. Well, not the National Basketball Association, but the NBA, this grassroots basketball thing, because I do it to the highest level. There is no higher level of grassroots basketball that you can get to than throwing national tournaments featuring the top blue chip athletes in the country. With that said, he's a young guy in his craft, as I am a young guy in my craft. And not only has he found a way to be almost domineering in his profession as I have, to the point where he can be, in the argument for the best doing it, but also in the fact that he's used that stardom, or celebrity, I should say, to fuel his other things. A lot of people don't know this. I'm actually working on a DVD series called Hoop Dreams More Than Basketball, which is kind of my More Than Basketball logo. Theme is what I'm going for in 2009. Pretty much trying to get these young guys to understand that there's money to be made and there's a lifestyle to be lived that can give you, that's just like an NBA lifestyle, just like an NBA life, NBA money, but you don't necessarily have to be on the court, going to practice and being on the team. You can get it from, doing other things.
Don't forget, Saturday, January 10th, High School Showcase, Nova vs. the Nation. Game start at 12 o'clock. See you there.